Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a first impression / disassembly on the Kubey KU321, or the Royal. So this is a cool ass knife. Originally I was sent a production version of this by Colin, who is the designer, CM Designs. Awesome dude. I've actually been chatting with him a little bit more lately. I drew up a knife design, and I was, kind of popping around. I sent it to him just to get his opinion because I knew he designs knives, and he was nice enough to kind of put a rendering together and put his touch on it and everything. So we kind of have a collaboration design, which, I don't really want to get into it or anything. If it gets to a point where that happens, I will certainly let you guys know. But anyway, I just wanted to say Colin is an awesome dude, and he's an awesome designer. This is probably going to be my budget knife of 2021, at least at this point it is. He also designed the Tucson TS319 I had in not too long ago that I then sold to Jared Neve. It was just a little thick for my taste, and it wasn't like drop shut, and that was just due to the way they did the liner and everything. So just wasn't my preference per se, right? But definitely an awesome design, awesome knife. And he kind of has a signature sort of shape, at least from the two that I've seen, where he has this kind of slender but neutral handle that's a little bit rounded, and then he has a similar kind of profile to the blade. I guess it would be a drop point, right? Even though it kind of has like worny aspects to it, yet it doesn't have that straight edge. So I don't know what else to call it, a drop point or even a clip point maybe. And then he has this hole design, similar kind of elongated hole on his knives that I really, really like. So anyway, this is the Kubey Royal, and I ended up buying one immediately after I unboxed his. So I sent that one along to Casey from Knives Fast, so he'll be checking that. I don't know why I looked at that. I was like, oh, it looked like a ball sack. You got ball sacks on the mind. But yeah, so first impressions, man, this thing's cool. Reversible clip is awesome. I will say my biggest gripe, and almost only one with this knife, is the clip is not recessed. The screws are, but the clip isn't. So when you shove it in your pocket, it kind of catches there, and you got to give it one last push to get it through. And if you have thicker pants on, it can be a little bit of a pain. But that's really about it. I mean, you got G10, you have D2. I mean, that's not my favorite steel, obviously. But I can deal with it. I'll zoom in and we can take a look. I like the way they did this bead blast. It's a super sharp edge. I love the liner lock as a lefty. The standoffs are really nice. It's got good weight to it. Not too heavy, but not too light. The action's incredible. Hopefully that'll stick around once I'm done. Centering, dead nuts. I mean, for $60 is what I paid for this. You can get it on Amazon right now, it looks like. I saw it on White Mountain Knives. I'd love for you guys to go there and get it. Use my code LEFTY10. You'll get 10% off and free shipping in the U.S. But they were out of stock last time I checked. I think they came in and sold out instantly, which says a lot about the design. I love the milling on here. I love this pivot collar by Kubey. It says a KB. It's really cool. I'm not a big fan of their other logo with the monkey and the Kubey, but it is what it is. I do like Colin's. It's very sleek. His name's Colin Mason Pierre, and that's why CN. So, yeah. And what else? I think that's really it. I mean, it's just really, really good. It has fantastic ergonomics. I can hold it in this back grip. I have a large glove size hand, and it fits pretty much perfectly. And then I can also choke up onto this flat, which is freaking awesome, guys. I have so much control here. It's incredible. I'm really liking this knife. Okay, and in terms of action, man, it's good. The detent is on the lighter side. I would call it like a medium light detent, right? It's not like ultra light or anything. I'm not just gonna like, get it to shake up easy. I mean, I can't there. I mean, that took a lot of force, guys. So the detent is fine. It's not as strong as I would love for it to be on a reverse flick, but I mean, I have no problems with it. If I just go to the break point on it, it shoots out and locks up. That's all you can really ask for. And the reason they did that is this front flipper, sorry. And that is excellent. The detent is tuned to perfection for that. So it just gives you that extra fidget factor with this knife. And guys, it's incredible. It drops shut, essentially. I mean, it's almost drop shut. Glides down. This is a really cool design, guys. So let's get into it. I believe it's going to be a T10. Let me just check. Yeah, I got tons of room in there. So I'll save the T8 for the smaller driver here for body screws, I'm guessing. And then we need to hunt down a T10 or 2. Let's see, T8. It's weird that I have an extra T8. I'm guessing maybe I already have a T10 in here. Nope. T8s for days. Come on, give me a T10, baby. T15. Where am I hiding all the T10s? There it is. All right, here's a T10. I don't have a ton of T10s. I might need to get some because I feel like more and more knife companies are going to T10. Yeah, so this pivot was loosening, and that's why I want to do this video. Originally, I was thinking I wasn't even going to do a disassembly. Because it felt so good the way it was. I didn't even want to mess with it. Close your eyes, Kev. That'll land at some point. But then it started loosening, so I figured why not, right? Take it apart. Looks like we're only working with those 2 screws. There might be more underneath. Looks like Loctite on there, so I'll remember to redo that. Comes off. Comes off. Comes off. Comes off. Nice. Looks like we have 5mm bearing, so the pivot goes through. Yep, has a spot, so I can't really miss it. Looks like there's oil in here from factory. Pretty small stop pin, I'll say. But doesn't really need to be huge on a knife this size. Let me get some alcohol going. Usually like to get a little bit of alcohol in a thing like this. Finally got this back from my old kind of setup the other day. And then you can let the bearings, the stop pin, any screws you have, a pivot, you can kind of just chuck it all in here. It's usually the best way to go, honestly. I know that I haven't been doing that much lately, but that's how I should be doing it. I even have a little cup holder for it. It's perfect, right? I need a cloth. I don't know where all my cloths are. I did wash a couple to see how they would come out, and they seem fine. They don't obviously completely remove everything, but it's clean now. All right. Clean the blade. Yeah, I'm really liking this knife. I'm really liking Colin. He's a really, really cool dude. So those are both awesome things. And I'm starting to like Kubey, guys. I mean, they're one of the companies I think I might trust. I always say that when I talk about companies, because if I ever, tried to bring a knife to market, I would obviously want to use a company I could trust. For example, QSP, Riot, I trust them. I think Artisan would be on that list. A company like Best Tech would not be on that list, for me personally. Because their detents and the way they go about pivots and, blade play, centering, and action just never seem to be something that perfectly align on their knives. So that's my reasoning for that. Here's a nice look at that D2 blade. You can see it there. D2, CM Designs. See the detent track. Does look like they do have a detent ramp on there, do they? No. And then you have your scales. Nicely milled. Really simple design as well, right? Let's start with the bearings. Do I want to swap them? Not really. This is a $60 kind of budget knife. I don't think I need to go crazy. And you guys saw the action before. I don't really see a reason. Plus, I don't think I have any 5mm bearings right now. I think I put the last set into my Chavez. I did a video on that, the scapegoat, and I put Delrins in. And then I tried skiffs after the video, and so I stuck with that. The Delrins were great. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they were bad or anything. So, if you used them because of my video, you're good. Don't worry. Did you see that? Just a bunch of shit shot out of there. Let me make sure I got the threads in here. I always like to kind of turn the thread into a cloth to get any excess shit off of it. Stop pin. Yeah, and they used thread locker on that screw. No. Fuck me running. All right, here we go. Magnet time. Got it. Good reason to keep a magnet around. Yeah, I've already taken this screw out a couple times because I had to reverse the clip. So it may have been Loctited, but it wasn't like currently Loctited. And it's not coming up very well either, but we'll see. I kind of switched back to using liquid Loctite, so I may do that on this. We'll see. The Permatex is good. It seems to work great. I don't know. I just hadn't had luck with my Axon on it. And I think that might just be the knife. Again, that one's made by Best Tech. And I don't have anything against Best Tech. That's been my experience thus far with their OEM work. And honestly, their own work as well. How was it? This was in like this, right? It was in sideways like this, I think. Doesn't see. Oh, there it popped in. Is there I don't see a D shape anywhere, so I'm not sure. You could put that in any which way, I guess, but it was that way, I'm pretty sure. So let us get our KPL. So I want to give a big shout out to Brian from Bees Blades. He gave me a very good tip. He said, take a new bottle of KPL and put some clear Scotch tape around it, and you'll never have that label rub off. And I never thought of that, like an idiot, because that's what I am, an idiot. So I did that. I have all 3 of my KPL bottles Scotch taped, so now we'll never have that problem again. All right, which is pretty cool. Obviously, the live streams are sponsored by KPL, which means they send me free stuff to give away to you guys. That's literally how they sponsor it. Thursday nights at 8:15 p.m. I actually have one tonight. The Brass Brigade is going to be on. I also have been trying out this lubricant from Orion Knives. So I kind of want to try that on here. And it's basically the same weight as KPL Original, so it's going to essentially do the same thing. But I figure it's worth giving a shot, trying. I didn't check which side the bearings were on, or which way they were facing. So there's that, but I always like facing them a certain way. We'll see how the action is, and we'll go from there. Here is our stop pin. Make sure that's in nice and snug and even. Get our KPL heavy out. I'm not used to having the labels on there. I was like, what? Put a little bit in there. Put a drop on our liner. Okay, Kev, all over the place. I'll wipe that up. All right, we should be good. We're going to drop this guy on here. Then we're gonna go here and clean this up. Jesus. I need one more drop of this stuff on here. So we're gonna drop this guy in there. Bada bing, bada boom. We're gonna put this liner on. Should be fairly simple to put back together. Put it at 90 degrees. That's our new thing. All right, I think we're good. It's just trying to level out. It's okay. There's no screws, pins, or anything underneath, so you just drop on the scale. Get our Loctite out. I'm just gonna use the Permatex. I haven't had a problem with it on this knife or anything, so. I tried reading the label again to see if it had a time limit. You should, because, you know, like the liquid Loctite says to let it sit for 24 hours. That's what it says on the bottle. This doesn't say anything. So I've always done 24 to 36. Sometimes I let it sit for 2 days just to be safe, you know. But I don't know what they actually recommend. It could be, you know, 5 days. Like, who knows, right? It's not, but could be, you know what I mean. Just putting a tiny, tiny bit on there. Don't really need it for this screw. I've never had a body screw just all of a sudden loosen up. So, all right. I'm gonna tighten it. All right, we are way too tight. I'm hoping that's just because of how tight I did it and not because the knife is off. Yeah, I tightened it pretty far. All right, centering is dead nuts. Action, dead nuts. I mean, really good. No play. So we are not quite as good as it was. Now the bearings haven't, you know, moved into whatever path I'm now putting them in. I'm thinking it was just slightly looser. Centering's still good. Still no play. So I'm guessing they just had it a little looser. There was the slightest bit of play, I think, when I got it. Like that. And there it is, yeah. I mean, it's almost dropped shut at this point. For such a tiny knife, you know. It's really good to have it like that, but I also like not having blade play. And this has a little bit. None. Still great action. So I'm going to leave it like that. Tighten this down. Make sure these are tight. That's one problem I have with this, is they have T6 on the clip screws and then T8 on this one. It's kind of like this build seems very much like a Civivi, if I'm being honest. Almost like they're built in the same factory. I'm not kidding. Which is funny, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no play, and we're good. Dead nuts. Okay, so I'm done there. Let's take a close-up look at it, and then we can wrap this up. All right, guys? Oh, wait. Yeah, let me... T6. Put the T8 in here. Oh, I didn't put the lid on that heavy, did I? Ugh. All right. So close-up look. Here we go. So there's your T8 body screw. Here's your G10. It's extremely well finished, guys. They did a great job contouring it. Excellent milling in there. It really does, you know, give you some good grip, some good feel to it. There's that pivot screw on this side. That's really cool. There's your flipper tab, front flipper. Grabs really well right there. There's your centering, as stated. Dead nuts. Here's that awesome pivot I was telling you about from Kubey. There's your deep carry clip, which again does not sit recessed, but doesn't have mushrooms growing in the shade, as somebody would say. Shout out to Bees Blades again. And then I'm going to open this slowly because I'm Loctiting it. You have D2 steel. You have a lot of oil there for me. CM Designs and this beautiful blade shape. Kubey, just an excellent design. And then let me get some paper and then we'll wrap this up for good. All right, so you get excellent control by holding it like this, right? Because you have that choke up point because there's no flipper tab there, right? Just get down into a cut. If somebody learned how to cut, man, this would be a good channel if a guy learned how to cut. There you go. I definitely have to cut down more than I do. I always try to cut like this, which works, but I think a little more of a steeper angle makes more sense. If I could get it, there you go. Guys, it's good. It's just me being an idiot. Right? Excellently ground on the D2. It is a flat grind or saber grind. It's not the thinnest behind the edge. It's not the sharpest knife ever, but they did a great job. And for EDC, it's going to be perfect. Obviously, I'll probably get a nice edge put on this, and then, you know, it'll be even better. So that's it, guys. That's the Kubey Royal. That is my first impressions and disassembly video. I'll follow up with the full review, of course. I'm really liking it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about Colin's design language? I'm really digging it for sure. And just all around, he's a great dude, great design. And the knife is fantastic, you know. That's what made me want to reach out to the guy and ask, you know, for advice or see what he thought, because I thought his designs were awesome. So anyway, cool ass knife here, Colin. Great job, Kubey, on manufacturing it. And yeah, appreciate you guys letting me rant and rave as usual. I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.